Today's story is not an original creation of Clever Fox Tales. It has been passed down through generations as part of the classic Tales of India, and I first heard it from my father when I was young. I'm sharing it because it fits beautifully in the Clever Fox Tales universe.
Deep in the Amazon rainforest, along the banks of the Amazon River, lived a family of monkeys. They spent their days swinging from tree to tree, but every evening they returned to a giant kapok tree that stood beside the river. Farther downstream lived a family of crocodiles that often lurked beneath the water. The monkey elders knew crocodiles could be dangerous, so they warned everyone to stay away from the river. Instead, the monkeys drank from a nearby watering hole, fed by a narrow stream that was too small for crocodiles to swim through. Among the monkeys was an especially clever and energetic young monkey named Zippy. He loved exploring new places and sometimes ventured near the riverbank to watch the fish swim below. The mother crocodile often watched Zippy leap from branch to branch and dreamed that one day he might fall straight into her mouth. She had grown tired of eating fish every day. One afternoon, she called for her son, Mumbo, who was not exactly known for thinking things through. Mumbo, she said, I'm getting old, and I don't have the energy I once had. I miss the days when we used to hunt and swim together. But if I could eat a monkey's heart, I would become young and energetic again. Mumbo loved the idea of his mother feeling young again. I'll get you a monkey heart, Mom, no matter what, he promised. Mumbo swam upstream toward the kapok tree where he knew the monkeys lived. He crept close to the bank and waited for one of them to come down for a drink. Hours passed, but not a single monkey appeared. What Mumbo did not know was that the monkeys never drank from the river. Just as he was about to give up, he spotted Zippy sitting on a low branch above the water, staring across the river at a huge mango tree heavy with ripe fruit. Mumbo suddenly had an idea. Perhaps he could trick the monkey instead. Hey, friend, he called. What are you looking at? Zippy was startled, but after a moment he replied, I was just imagining what it would be like to reach that mango tree on the other side of the river and taste those sweet mangoes. But I suppose I'll never get there. Why not? Mumbo asked. I can help you cross. Jump on my back and I'll take you straight to the mango tree. Zippy hesitated. Something about the offer did not feel quite right. Why would you help me? He asked. Because I'd love to taste a fresh mango too, Mumbo answered. I can't climb a tree myself. If you promise to share some with me, I'll gladly take you across. Now, Zippy was excited. Of course I'll share. We can eat as many mangoes as we like. With that, Zippy climbed onto Mumbo's back, and the crocodile began swimming across the river. But when they reached the middle, Mumbo suddenly turned and headed downstream. Hey! Zippy shouted. Where are you going? The mango tree is that way. Mumbo grinned. We're not going to the mango tree. I don't care about mangoes, you silly monkey. I'm taking you to my mother. She's getting old, and she needs to eat a monkey heart to become young again. Zippy's stomach dropped. They were in the middle of the river, and he could not swim. For a moment, he feared there was no way out. Then an idea came to him. Oh no, Zippy cried. I wish you had told me that back at the riverbank. I keep my heart on the highest branch of the kapok tree. I was so excited about the mangoes that I forgot to bring it. Mumbo looked puzzled. You can take your heart out of your body? Of course, Zippy said calmly, hoping the crocodile would believe him. Monkeys grow a new heart every year. I can give mine to your mother, and I'll have another one in a few months. But you have to promise to take me to the mango tree afterward. Mumbo thought about this for a moment. He did not want to arrive home without the monkey's heart and disappoint his mother. So he agreed and turned back toward the kapok tree. The moment they reached the riverbank, Zippy leaped onto land and scrambled high into the tree. Once he had caught his breath, he looked down and laughed. Who's silly now? Did you really believe a monkey could leave his heart in a tree? Mumbo realized he had been tricked and swam home in a fury. He did not tell his mother what had happened. Instead, he simply said he had failed to catch a monkey and would keep trying. But Mumbo had not given up on Zippy. Now he wanted revenge. From then on, he secretly watched Zippy whenever he could. Before long, he discovered a place Zippy visited almost every afternoon. About a mile upstream from the kapok tree was a small island in a wide stretch of the river. It was too far from the bank for Zippy to reach in one jump, but a large rock rose from the water halfway between the shore and the island. Zippy would leap from the riverbank to the rock, then from the rock to the island. Later, he returned the same way. The next day, Mumbo decided to wait for him. After Zippy reached the island, Mumbo climbed onto the rock and stayed perfectly still. Around dusk, Zippy prepared to head home. But as he looked toward the riverbank, something about the rock seemed different. Zippy narrowed his eyes. Hello, rock, he called. May I jump on you? There was no answer. Zippy called again. Still nothing. When he asked a third time, Mumbo began to worry. Maybe the rock usually answered Zippy. If he stayed silent, perhaps the monkey would become suspicious. Trying to disguise his voice, Mumbo replied in a deep whisper, Yes, you may jump. Zippy smiled. I knew it was you, Mumbo. Mumbo growled. It doesn't matter. You have nowhere else to go. I can wait here for weeks. For the rest of the night and through the following day, neither of them moved. But Zippy knew Mumbo really could wait much longer than he could. The island had no fruit, only flowers and a few small trees. Zippy thought carefully until another idea came to him. All right, Mumbo, he said, letting his shoulders droop. You win. There's no way for me to escape. Rather than stay here and starve, I'd rather go with you. Open your mouth wide, and I'll jump straight in. Zippy knew that when a crocodile opened its mouth wide, its eyes closed. He was counting on Mumbo being too excited to think things through. Mumbo could hardly believe it. At last, he thought he had outsmarted Zippy. Finally, he said, come on then, jump into my mouth and I'll take you to my mother. Mumbo opened his jaws as wide as he could. Without wasting a second, Zippy took a mighty leap. But instead of landing in Mumbo's mouth, he landed on top of the crocodile's head, sprang forward again, and reached the riverbank safely. By the time Mumbo realized what had happened, Zippy was already high in the trees. At last, Mumbo understood that tricking Zippy was not going to be easy. And one more thing, Zippy called from above. Eating a monkey heart won't make anyone young again. Your mother was wrong about that. Mumbo had been fooled twice, and this time he finally gave up. He promised to leave Zippy alone. Zippy smiled. That's good to hear, but I think I'll keep my distance anyway. From then on, Zippy still explored the jungle and followed his curiosity, but he never forgot what his adventures had taught him. Being clever could get him out of trouble, but being careful could keep him from getting into it in the first place. And that's our story for today. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a comment and follow the show for a new story every week. Thanks for listening to Clever Fox Tales.